Welcome into Vandy on SI. I'm Dylan Tovitz here outside of Hawkins Field, walking on home after Vanderbilt's 16-5 run rule win over Marist. Its third straight run rule victory after losing two games over the weekend, last weekend in Arlington. And it was a strong performance for Vanderbilt in almost all aspects today. 16 runs. Connor Fennell got the start, and he looked a lot like Connor Fennell does. It's actually funny because his two outings to start this season have been nearly identical. Around 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs. He had the third unearned run from the first inning today after errors from Riker Wade and Max Jensen. 7 strikeouts, no walks today. I think he had 1 walk in his first outing against TCU. Fennell, his changeup was really sharp. Struck out a bunch of hitters on it. Both handedness of hitters. The fastball looked good too. It didn't generate as many whiffs today, and when his fastball isn't generating whiffs, it's prone to some hard contact, which you saw in the form of the 2 home runs today. But as Tim Corbin said after the game, solo home runs won't kill you. They rarely do. So that was certainly a recipe for success for Fennell. Just because of the uniqueness of his fastball, those weird metrics that he gets on it, the low arm slot, he's always going to get a lot of whiffs. But that said, when it is thrown at 88 miles per hour, 87 miles per hour, that velo really hasn't jumped much. When hitters are sitting on it, no matter the metrics, they're going to be able to get their barrel around. So you saw that a little bit. But ultimately, Fennell might not be the Friday night SEC starter, the Liam Peterson or the Joey Volchko or Gabe Gackle, who can go 8 innings, strike out 14 and just completely dominate the game. But at the same time, it feels like he has a higher floor than a lot of those guys. And I'm not comparing him to those 3 pitchers. Those are all like perennial first round, draft picks or at least top prospects. But Fennell has that higher floor. Good attack on the mound, and he looked a lot like Connor Fennell today. On the offensive side, I thought it was a promising game, mostly because their contact was really on display, the plate approach, kind of what you've seen from successful Vanderbilt, teams in the past couple years, that station-to-station approach, a little bit of the small ball, bunting, and really just knocking hits all over the field. I thought Vanderbilt did that very well today, and that's especially promising after last weekend's, power outburst. And Vanderbilt entered today with 16 home runs, which is 4 more than any other SEC team, which is great, and it's something that Vanderbilt hasn't always had in the past. But, you worry, does that come at the expense of contact? Are we going to get several performances like last Sunday's against Oklahoma State, where Vanderbilt's offense essentially gets shut out? So it was a promising sign to see them deliver. I think it was 18 or 19 hits. Every single batter in Vanderbilt's order was on base 2 or more times, which is kind of a crazy stat. Overall, it was certainly a strong game. Logan Johnstone, he hit the walk-off homer. I think he's emerging as a true leadoff hitter for the Commodores. He looked good. Braden Holcomb had his homer to right field the other way. Had a couple other hits as well. Mac Whitcomb went 3 for 4. Max Jensen, a pair of hits. Riker Wade, a pair of hits. Corbin Reynolds, who is going to be, spending more time behind the plate. It sounds like now he's started 2 of the last 3 games there. Tim Corbin had great things to say about him after the game. He hit his first collegiate home run, and the reason he's going to be spending more time behind the plate is because Colin Barzee hurt his shoulder earlier in the week on a slide. Doesn't sound like it'll be overly long-term or a major issue, but that said, I do think he'll be at least sidelined for the rest of this weekend. I wouldn't be shocked to see him out a little bit longer than that, which is a tough break considering his hot start to the season, though he has looked a little bit off at the plate since his historic opening day last Friday. But Brody Johnston continues to do really great things at the plate. He, had a couple of hits today, a couple other hard hit balls, and it's his swing decisions. I've written about this, but his swing decisions look fantastic. Really just night and day from a year ago, and that's ultimately the key to him kind of unlocking that next level, and I think you're starting to see him get there. England Bryan is the last guy I'll mention. He came on in relief of Fennell and really dominated after allowing a 2-run home run in the first inning. I believe he retired 6 of the next 7 batters, actually got the save, which is a little quirky stat thing where if you pitch 3 or more innings to close the game and your team wins, no matter what the score is, you get a save. Brian's going to be a big piece going forward, mostly because he's flashed this new splitter, which I actually asked him about after the game, and it's going to be an exclusive with him going up on the site in the next couple days, which has become a sort of platoon neutral option to left-handed hitters, and that's especially important considering Vanderbilt's lefty arms there already weren't that many of them, and those that are on the roster, Matthew Shorey and Miller Green and Aiden Stillman, all 3 of them are currently injured. So Jacob Schultz is the only lefty in the bullpen right now, which just makes it all the more important to have righties who can get lefties out at a consistent clip. And I think England Bryant's perhaps the best guy in the bullpen to do that. So a strong outing from Brian, despite allowing that 2-out home run. And overall, a really strong performance from Vanderbilt Baseball, who defeats Marist 16-5, and will return to Hawkins Field tomorrow at 2 p.m. For Game 2 of the series. Austin Nye on the mound. I thought he looked really, really sharp last weekend, despite allowing a couple runs, and we'll see what he has to offer tomorrow. That's about all I have now. I'm Dylan Tovitz. Make sure to subscribe to Vandy on SI, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.